What's going on, y'all? It's Greg. Greg said it. Back with this second of the day inspiration motivation. Of course, y'all, we had our live early today where we talked about what happened in Nebraska. And let's go back and check it out. If you're new here, make sure you like, share, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. And if you do, you know where to find us. They say sometimes that YouTube algorithm be off, but hit that bell notification. And just be on the lookout, because we always come to you the day after the game, and we come with this inspiration motivation typical on this Sunday here. And typically the game's on Saturday, so the live and the inspiration motivation is on Sunday. So with that being said, I mentioned earlier I want to have a special conversation. I didn't really want to get into this during the live, but I really wanted to kind of talk about something that's been on my mind. And when you look at what's going on in Colorado, I have some concerns. I have some concerns for the football and beyond football. I always told y'all this is bigger than football. And when you look at how Colorado's performing, it's a lot, man. I was just talking about, you know, the energy level that you got to play up on in a stadium of that capacity, and the energy there, and people on one accord coming against. People don't know how powerful that is. It's a reason why you do it. It ain't just for fun. You have to be built for a lot of things, especially on this level. The level of energy and eyeballs thrown in your direction. It's one of the last couple of years, these players sometimes shrink down. Everybody not getting energy thrown at them like that. They're not under the microscope like that. At their team, they coach them as an individual. It's a lot when you're everybody's Super Bowl, but you're not supposed to be all of that. Yet so many people want to see you fail. Man, if people talk about witchcraft, that is indeed witchcraft. It's soulish, it's emotional, but it's like, man, when you have people put their mouth and their efforts towards you like that, man, it creates something and it attracts some things. It has an impact. Yeah, that's not what I was talking about today. It's something that I've always been familiar with and I've learned about. And unfortunately, I see it with Colorado. I don't think it's necessarily Coach Prime bought it or anything like that. Maybe it was already there. Or maybe it showed up. Maybe it was sent on assignment there. But it's something I call the losing spirit. Let me explain what this thing is. And hopefully you looking at me right now, it doesn't describe you. Because again, it's bigger than football. It's bigger than Colorado. When you have a situation where everything you do right, it don't matter, feel like you lose, or you always feeling like you're going to lose, or you're always losing, or on a real flippity flip on the other side, you feel like you're losing, so you want to see other people lose, consciously and subconsciously. That is a losing spirit. It's something that creates situations for you to lose, and it's hard to come out of it. And it's like the more you fight against, it's like sinking sand, because it's not really what you're doing. It's not normal. It's supernatural, it's spiritual. And it only makes sense when it don't make sense. I mean, when you see the cycles and you see, there's no way that's happening again. Why does this keep happening? Or like Colorado fans love to say, this looks like last year. And you look at it like we talked about, this is a different team. This is different coaching for the most part. Some still there. And different players. And you see some similar stuff. And it's like, a lot of people go on, a lot of people, and you still see the same thing. People come in, swear they're going to do something different. And it matches what a lot of y'all say about, oh, this program has been winning for so long. It's part of their pedigree. This is a standard. That's a winning spirit. That's a winning culture. And it's like, whatever over that losing team ain't over their head. It don't confuse them. It don't cause them to feel a certain way. It don't impact them the same way because they don't have that spirit there. And matter of fact, it's the opposite. The air is brighter, it's cleaner, it's fresher. And it's like more positive. It's not like negative, depressing thoughts. It's definitely spiritual. And it's my hopes that Colorado don't have, even though I'm starting the morality to kick in, because it's a few things that let me see and notice that it's a losing spirit going on. Anytime you start off, first of all, with the whole off season, talking about last year, okay. Then you start off the season, and every sign of last year, oh, there it go, oh, there it go. No optimism. You looking for it. You speaking for it. You're trapped in it. As soon as Colorado won their first game, Coach Prime say what? His famous line. I feel like, you ever feel like when you win, but you feel like you lost? Let me tell you something about that. What I don't like about that, Coach Prime. The last time you said that, your team didn't win no more games. I don't know if you noticed that. Somebody better get this to him ASAP. The last time Coach Prime said that was Arizona State. I remember when he said it in the press conference. That was the first time he said it. I think he might have said it one more time, but that was the first time he said it. Or maybe the last. But to start off this season saying that on your first game, even when you won, because you got to remember when he said that last year, this is what was happening. They beat TCU, everybody was happy. They beat Nebraska, oh yeah, hype, 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 hype. Then they went and barely beat, I mean, it's a scrap, low down, blow down fight with Colorado State. And then it was like, whoa, they took a lot out of them. And that's really when he probably first started thinking it and saying it. Like, in a way, yeah, we won, but I don't feel like we won. So he kind of said it, right? Then you go lose to Oregon, and then you lost to USC. People expected that. Then you go, and you're supposed to whoop a lower level team like a Arizona State. Then you barely beat them in a blow down, almost go to overtime thing. And you say, you feel like you win, but you didn't. Because what you're saying is, like, we basically had to fight for all these wins. And even when we win, it's such an ugly fashion. I feel like we didn't win because I got so many negatives that I can't really celebrate it. Or the people who criticizing me not going to give me credit because I barely beat a team I really supposed to beat. So they still criticize me like, you're not as good as you think you are, so what did you beat that sorry team? So you can't win for losing, that type of thing. Now, here you are. You go beat North Dakota. You give them credit. You don't give them credit. You give them credit. And then it's like, it was sloppy and then it was sloppy points. And you feel like, I won, but I didn't win. So you can't even feel it. And then you come and then you go to Nebraska, not even fully accepting your last win. Now you go here and you get whooped. I mean, but when you really look at it, it was a few plays that really defined that game. A few big plays. The Shador interception, it was one on pretty much the goal line. Panicking, we just down by a touchdown. Not playing the long game. But that losing spirit tells you, you worse off than where you are. That's what it does. You panicking, like, I got to score right now. If I don't score, I'm in trouble. But you only down by a touchdown. But you made yourself down by 2 touchdowns. And if that one worse, they scored 2 more. And now, did they score no more? No. But your losing spirit made you panic and make you think life is worse off than what it is. And you do stuff in a panic. And it caused you to be in a worse situation. That's what we're looking at. Can we all relate? Sometimes we do things. Lord knows. You think you're in a bad situation until you really are in a bad situation. Then you realize that situation wasn't as bad as you thought. But in that situation, you just swore that was the worst situation. And when you get in that worst situation, it snowballs. So you get up out of there. That's what Colorado did. That's what Shador did. We got to score. We ain't moving the ball the way we want. Calm down. You're only in the first quarter. If you don't calm down, it's going to get worse. And it got worse. That's part of being within the losing spirit. When you look at the fan base, you won your first game, but you acting as if you lost. And you putting pressure on yourself. We losing the Nebraska. It's over. Neither one of these games are a conference game. They're making mistakes. They're doing dumb stuff. Indeed. But a lot of people ready to pull the plug, threaten to pull the plug, have pulled the plug halfway out. They waiting. It's almost like they wishing in the itching. I wish you would mess up. I'm going to take my commitment and loyalty from CU. Because that's what happened last year, right? Once they started losing, once they lost, by the time they lost to Stanford, people was gone. And CU never recovered. And they lost a lot of close games after that. But they didn't have the fight in them. They were fighting within, clearly. We heard about it later. Coaching, kids. locker room falling apart. How do you win? How do you win and be divided? You can divide and expect to win. It's hard to do. Especially when that negative momentum is against you. It's just a lot harder. But that comes when that losing spirit coming at it creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because how in the world do you expect to win when you divide it? People fighting each other. Everything looks bad, worse. Coach Prime got this saying. It's typically not as good as you thought it was, and it's not as bad as you thought it was. Something along that line. That's my interpretation. Basically saying, you know, you don't need to overact either way. Because it ain't going to be as bad as you thought it was, and it ain't going to be as good as you thought it was. That's like the extremes. When you're looking at a team, when you look at the stats, Nebraska punted more than them. I talked about it in my live. They didn't have that many more plays. They had more rushing yards, but they had less passing yards. That quarterback didn't do a whole lot. He dink and dunked his way down. Nothing significant. He only threw 1 touchdown. But you would have thought he was all that because everything he do was elevated. It was great, positive. I thought about some Stewart got his head knocked off and came back in within a couple plays and threw his first touchdown. Nobody don't talk about that. Nobody don't talk about the toughness. They talk about he hold the ball. They talk about this. They talk about that. Everything he do wrong. Last week he threw almost 500 yards, and you would have thought he had an average subpar game. He by far led the country. And he threw what? 4, could have been 5 touchdowns. But it was too busy pointing at the negative. You barely beat this team. You this, you that, you that. Everything he did wrong. Really emphasize what he did right. That's a losing spirit. That losing spirit cause other people to, it's like rejection too. It's like it causes people to not acknowledge you. You lose either way. Doing if you do, doing if you don't. That's what I don't like. I don't like to see the fan base panicking the second game. If it is, so be it. I'm not telling you one way or another, but why do you panic? You can't control what they do, but they got 10 more games to figure this out. And to act as if you know they're going to lose. I mean, the other team's struggling too. Oklahoma State didn't look that great. Kansas State didn't look that great. Baylor looked like, these are people in their conference. They got to play these people. Could they go and stink it up? Yeah. Could they go and whoop these people? Yeah. Everybody got to show up and play. But when you look at the mindset of, oh my goodness, the season over. Oh, they don't go win 3 games. Oh, they're going to win 4 games. Says who? Because if everybody else fan base was like y'all, who would be left? I mean, Notre Dame went out there and got blasted. Oregon almost got blasted, really 2 weeks in a row. And yeah, people say stuff about their base, but when you going to write them off over whatever, and you better not lose to Colorado State. Well, if they do, because it's almost like you slick wishing it. You tell them what they better not do. You put so much, when you put so much energy on something, you're really attracting it. You're really elevating, amplifying it. You're really worshiping it. Because it's like, it's almost like you saying it's going to happen by putting so much focus and emphasis on it. It ain't happened yet, but you acting as if it's already happening. To make it happen is weird. It gets deep. Colorado is a team that the schedule at this point is really in their favor to be winning, like last year. But the biggest fear was they could win. And people say, oh, just like last year, you start the same way. We're going to wait till you win the conference game. We're going to wait till you do this. We're going to wait till you play this certain team. You can't impress people who really don't want the best for you. I was talking to really big Watts earlier, but I've really been talking about this. Even a broken clock can be right 2 times a day. And you talking about, just because you say the same thing I say, that don't mean, we may be saying the same thing, but we're not saying the same thing. Just because you saying, oh, Colorado's, they need to get their junk together. And the other person said, that don't mean y'all on the same, y'all on the same page with that. But it's 2 different motives. One person actually wants to see them succeed, and another one's a straight hater. Just because you right, that don't mean you right. And just because you want to be right all the time, that don't mean you genuinely right. Because you can say you're going to lose, you're going to lose, you're going to lose, you're going to lose until it happens. It's more like gambling. Just say you want them to lose. Don't act like you really predicting a loss. Just say you gonna say it anyway. You want them to lose. Some people even try to throw you off and say, well, they'll win, but they really want you to lose. They win either way. Even they say you win and you lose, they still win. Because they are wolf in sheep clothing. All of this comes with everything, but it definitely comes with a losing spirit. People are attracted to pulling you down to their level. A lot of people don't want to be happy, so they dump on your parade. A lot of people don't want you to be successful because it reminds them of they not being successful. It's not motivating them to become more successful. It motivates them to be mad at you. That's the world we're living in. Y'all got to watch it. Especially the character that's been built into the newer generations. That crab in the bucket thing is on a whole nother level. Coach Prime ain't really knocking nobody. He try to be positive. But he got people out here who, they don't want to see him succeed. On and off the football field. In sports, outside of the media. Whether they play him or not. Coaches. Because his success means something. In the grand scheme. His success and the way he do things means something. Could he be working against himself in a lot of ways? Absolutely. But that's for him to figure out. It ain't for you to desperately want to see him fail. I don't know what's in it for you. You ain't on his level either way. What's in it for you to see him fail? That's a sickness, right? Like, what is really going on? Why are you so excited to see somebody lose? Some people are so excited to see them lose, they ain't even going against their team. They ain't even got a team. As long as Colorado lose, as long as he don't win, type of thing. And that thing ugly because that going all through the country. I don't care if it's right or wrong. I don't care if they gotta cheat. I don't care how it gotta happen. As long as he don't win, I'm happy. Why do you put the bullseye on him? Why he gotta lose? You can't even figure that out. What's on you to put so much hate, emphasis, negativity, and effort on wishing bad on that person? What kind of program are you under and where did it come from? You ain't getting nothing out of it. But you putting your energy, you taking your power to use it against another person. I mean, that person gonna win or lose anyway. Why you gotta throw yours up in there? Colorado gonna lose, they gonna lose, they gonna win, they gonna win. We watching it. We enjoying it. It's supposed to be entertainment. Not your life. If it is your life, you got a problem. We want to see Coach Prime. We like the whole thing and all that. Isn't some things done wrong? Clearly. But him or nobody else ain't got time to put no energy towards hoping they fail. It don't pay my bills. It don't make me more better when he go down, like I say all the time. Him going down don't make me better. I don't think it do that for you either. If you're going against them and it's your team, I somewhat get it, but you'll be a fool to keep going on like you ain't got somebody else gonna knock your head in next week. Like with the Nebraska fans, anybody else. You won good. You got whooped last year. Move on. We had to move on. We had a dog fight against Colorado State the next week. Then we got whooped by Oregon. And then we had a just crazy game against USC. And then we had Arizona State and we had Stanford. We had time to be worrying about Nebraska. We didn't win how many games we won? Well, it was the second game. We won 2 more games after them. But we beat them. So they better be worried about what they got to do while they looking back at Colorado. You're not exempt. Be careful of that losing spirit. That losing spirit that hovers over your head to make you lose. And that losing spirit in you that want to see other people lose. That's how you know. I just told you how you know. You want to see other people lose because it feels more common to you. It makes you feel good. I'm guaranteeing you winning in life, you ain't got time to be worried about other people losing. Matter of fact, you win enough. You don't want to be the only one winning. That kind of sick person. I only want to win. Sick people out there like that. I won. Everybody else lost. Look at me. Winning ain't doing that for you. You cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But that's what we're looking at, y'all. I'm just Greg. Greg said it. If you like what you see here, amongst other things. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. And I'll be talking to y'all real soon.